4,000, 5,000.
Sunny days call for Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea. Made with real iced tea and real vodka. Refreshing and goes down smooth. Let the good times cruise with Sun Cruiser.
Eat Lux your way with the Lux Cravings boxes from Taco Bell. There's the classic $5 box, the indulgent $7 box, and a whole new obsession in the $9 box, a flaming hot grilled cheese burrito. Try the Lux Cravings boxes at Taco Bell today.
The biggest contest we've ever seen.
Seriously, what's the guarantee?
They're still talking about it.
I think it's time to put the rumors to rest.
Showtime!
$30 million.
$30 million?
$30 million? $30 million?
That's $30 million guaranteed. 3 contests, multiple ways to win, no rate. Entry starting at $1,000. Enter in Nevada, play from anywhere.
Hey, Riley, how many touchdowns you kick last year?
You can't kick a touchdown, Hank.
Well, maybe you can't. I need a kicker for Lithia Ford's fall kickoff sale.
I mean, I caught a touchdown.
That's cool. Who kicked it to you?
Check out the all-new Blue and Orange store at the Boise State Hall of Fame. The Blue and Orange store has your best game day gear. We're talking jerseys, hats, bumper stickers, car flags, more than 4,000 hats on the hat wall. If you want the best Boise State gear, make sure you check out the Blue and Orange store online at theblueandorangestore.com or the all-new Blue and Orange store down at the Boise State Allen Noble Hall of Fame.
How's your day going?
Going good? Thank you, yes.
When I want Boise State to win, I trust Coach Rice to lead the Broncos to victory.
And when I want the best painting and garage floor coating, I trust rowpaint.com to get that job done right.
Hey, Riley, the most important position on a football team. No.
Well, it's a team sport, Hank.
Wrong. No, it's kicker. Why do you think they call it football? Why do you think Lithia Ford is having a fall kickoff sale? Tell you what, they're not having a fall tight end sale.
This is Bronco Nation News Live. The best interviews, the most informed opinions, the latest breaking news, all from the top Boise State insiders. Bronco Nation News Live is the only daily show that talks nothing but Boise State sports. And we do it with you. Give us your comments or questions in the ICCU YouTube chat. Or leave us a voicemail on the Signature Roofing voice inbox at speakpipe.com/BNN. BNN broadcasts come from the Sun Cruiser Studios. Sunny days call for Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea. Made with real iced tea and real vodka. It's refreshingly smooth and easy to drink. Crack open a Sun Cruiser and let the good times cruise. Bronco Nation News is presented by our title sponsor, Lithia Ford of Boise, and our major sponsors, Taco Bell, Idaho Central Credit Union, RoadPaint.com, and the Blue and Orange Store. At Lithia Ford of Boise, we're proud to stand with Boise State athletics. Through our NIL marketing partnerships, we're investing in the future of student athletes. Lithia Ford of Boise, here to get you there, wherever that may be. Lithia Ford of Boise, where Ford begins in Idaho. Broadcasting from the Sun Cruiser Studios, here's BJ Rains with another edition of Bronco Nation News Live.
What is up, Bronco Nation? Look at that view here. We are at Boise State. It is the something Mike Prater knew very well about, getting up for the early class on the third day of class. August 26th. It's 9:05 a.m. This is Bronco Nation News Live. Here at BroncoNationNews.com, class is in session, so the parking lot is filling up, and Boise State getting set to get back on the practice field here in about 30 minutes or so, so maybe a little shorter show. We'll see. I am actually headed down to Las Vegas with the crew today, Mike. What's the day that ends in Y? I'm heading down to Vegas, I guess. But we're going to have shows tomorrow and Friday for the contest weekend. Looking forward to getting down there, telling you more about it. We'll be live with Brad Bedell, Kent Riddle tomorrow. Nathan Carroll will be down there. We're going to do some Boise State-themed shows with some gambling odds, looking at over-under, win totals, Pac-12 odds, CFP odds. So we'll have plenty of Boise State talk, just in a different location tomorrow and Friday. But Mike, we're first time in a couple of days getting back out there. We had this, last practice, I think, was Thursday or Friday of last week. We had scrimmage 2, and then they've kind of set some of the depth chart. They haven't told us that, but I think, and again, some of this we can't report, but at least for our eyes, we might see some guys out there working with the ones today that might help solidify a few things.
Yeah, today definitely changes a few things, because as we've been through camp for the whole month, you got offensive line experimenting with offensive line 2, offensive line 1, mixing and matching, and you're not quite sure what the rotation is with the defensive line or with the offensive line, or frankly for every position. Now we're going to show up, and they're done experimenting, guys. They are done experimenting. The depth chart is set, and when we walk into practice here in about a half hour, we're going to see 5 starting offensive linemen. We're going to see an entire group of 5 number 2 offensive linemen. And again, the same thing for every position. So there's 3 or 4 positions we're still keeping an eye on, and we're not allowed to talk about depth charts, so we probably will wait till the depth chart comes out.
Well, that'll be Monday. That's only 5 days away anyway.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So, but we can be prepared. And I think for the most part, we know what this football team is and what's going on. And I think we can establish a starting offensive line. I think we can establish probably 95% of the starters across the board. But it'll be nice to walk in there knowing that the experiment is done. It's time to play football. It's time to get ready for the Oregon Ducks.
And obviously a lot of battles, some maybe more talked up by Spencer than are actual battles, or the coaching staff. We'll see. I know one of the intriguing ones for me is the center position, where I know last week there was some talk, I think, on your show and stuff like, hey, Stu is the center. And Spencer's not been willing to go that far yet. Is that all talk? Are you fully expecting Stu to be the center out there? Or is what Rasmussen's doing at left guard, throwing Steele over there, becoming a real possibility, you think?
100% a real possibility. And I did go on the show a couple of weeks ago and said Stuart Taufa is your starting center for the next 4 years. Scott Huff style. And
which every single one of us, you weren't going out on a limb there by saying that. Everyone has thought that from day one.
Yeah, because Stewart was the guy that was taking all the number 1 reps. Spencer was talking about him, but the last 10 days, everybody heard the comment. Here comes Jason Steele. And I listened to what I didn't go to Spencer's press conference on Saturday, but I went back and listened to it, and he 100% says it's a 50-50 competition right now. So that's going to be very interesting. I thought the offensive line was done, and it might be Stuart Taufa as the guy, but we'll see how it plays out, because if we walk in there today and Jason Steele's taking number 1 reps, maybe he's won himself a starting job.
And then obviously right tackle as well. We all pretty much thought Matoyer was going to be the guy there, and then Jacob Tracy has done some things. And you never know early in camp, are they just getting different guys reps? I mean, they're not stopping practice to come tell us, hey, he's at first team right now just because we want to get him some reps. So we're trying to read between the lines, and maybe that's what we thought it was. And then you find out, no, Jacob Tracy's actually battling too. Are you still fully expecting Matoyer to be the guy?
I am, but that race is really, really close, guys. And we might even see some rotations early on, or if Matoyer, I guess it's Matoyer now, who had some penalty issues last year when football went live. So we'll see how that plays out once they start playing Oregon and Memphis and some of these other teams. I think there's a nice, dependable backup, but I still think Matoyer will be the starting right tackle. Obviously, Etheridge is going to be the left tackle. Rasmussen's going to be the left guard. Carry-On's the rock star over at right guard. So I think the offensive line is mostly set. Seems like there's some movement along the defensive line too. Michael Madre, one of the only players on this team to lose a starting job.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And, Johnny said yesterday, there may not be a guy on this line, offensive line, that plays a regular season game snap in the NFL, but he thinks this line has the potential to be, pretty darn good. Where are you overall? How do you, if it is, whether it's Matoyer, Tracy, whether it's Rasmussen, whether it's Stewart, and then Steele's there, like how overall they're going to lean a lot on this running game with Gaines and Riley. How do you feel about the offensive line?
I feel good about 5. I feel really good about the starting 5. Now, if they can all stay healthy, and that doesn't happen, guys, if they can stay healthy and keep the starting 5, and there's only probably 2 or 3 dependable backups. You got Tracy at right for sure. I don't even know who the backup right guard is. I mean, Roger Carrion's never going to come off the football field. So I never
hope that guy stays healthy.
Yeah, I never even looked at who that is. Obviously, you got two guys. So 2 guys at right tackle. You got 2 guys at center. After that, guys, I think the depth kind of stops. Cox can play a little bit of left tackle. He started the bowl game last year, so that's probably another third of a body. So you got 8 dependable offensive linemen, and you're going to need them all. So it just depends on the injuries. But the starting 5, what they'll place out there, quarter number 1 against Oregon, I like what I see.
He's Mike Prater, host of Idaho Sports Talk, 3 to 6 weekdays, KTIK, The Ticket. My name's BJ Rains with Bronco Nation News. This is Bronco Nation News Live. We do it each and every weekday here at 9 a.m. Programming note tomorrow. And Friday, Mike, 8 a.m. is a little too early in Vegas with my crew. So to get Brad and Kent, make sure they're on time. We're going to push it back an hour, I think. So we'll be 10 a.m. Mountain Time tomorrow and Friday, 9 a.m. down in Vegas. But we are in the Sun Cruiser studios out here in the parking lot at Boise State. Make sure you pick up a Sun Cruiser, whether it's a vodka iced tea, lemonade iced tea, and, of course, Lithia Ford of Boise is our title sponsor, Jim Sturkin Company. I think we're going to do one of those shows where we drive around in a car again here in the next week or two, Mike, before the season. See if we can get you in on that. But Lithia Ford of Boise, Jim Sturkin Company, check them out for your newer pre-owned vehicle, and they have that 72-hour sale that starts tomorrow. So we'll tell you more about it, but perfect weekend to get out with that 72-hour sale. The best prices at Lithia Ford of Boise. Okay, a couple other spots. How about kicker? Because that's a spot that I see a cringe there already as I say it. I think we all kind of just thought it's going to be Boomer. It's going to be Boomer. But even going back to the spring, there were signs, Mike. There was some competition. We've talked a lot about it where there was a end of practice thing and players are picking which side the kicker they want. And this competition has been ongoing. I think a lot of people just assumed it would ultimately be Boomer. But we find out in that post-scrimmage interview with Spencer Danielson that going into this week, Keenan Moore is getting the first team reps. Didn't name him the starter, but said he's going to have an opportunity. So if Keenan Moore takes advantage of the first team reps this week, there's a real chance he might beat out Colton Boomer for the kicker position. We don't have to tell people watching this show how important a kicker is to this program, especially on the road. I still think if Jonah Dalmas had just made that early kick in the Penn State game, it might have been different confidence-wise, whatever-wise. I mean, if you're on the road in Oregon and you got a chance at points, you need a kicker that you can confidently say is going to make it, and that is a huge question mark right now.
Yeah, it's a massive question mark. It might be the biggest question mark on this team. It might be the biggest negative on this team, which I think this is a really good team. They've had a good fall camp, and I believe in this team being a really, really good football team, but the kicker position scares me. And we've been waiting. I've been waiting. Most people have been waiting for 7, 8, 9 months for Boomer to kind of get his consistency together, guys, and it just isn't happening. It didn't happen in spring camp. It didn't, we saw signs of it last year, even during the season. It certainly hasn't happened in fall camp. I think there's been groans and grunts sometimes when he lines up and kicks in those pressure situations, and he's not making it. He's got the biggest leg by far, but the accuracy part is really, really scary. So here comes Moore, a lot more accurate, but doesn't have the leg. So Spencer Danielson's got some decisions to make. Boomer's probably going to be the kickoff guy, where he demands a touchback every single play. That became an issue late last season as Boomer's leg got tired. See if we can fix that. But I think the kicker position, if it cost Boise State a game this year, the zero tolerance is not going to work out for them.
No, and that's certainly something we'll be watching today when we get in there. And they are on the blue today, by the way. You can already hear the music fired up here for some of the pre-practice stuff. We're supposed to be let in around 9:35. So
the other day when I was here, the band was in the parking lot. How come the band's not here for us today?
Well, they heard your comments and said we'll go practice on the other side of the stadium. I guess no.
I want the band.
They got school too now. Their preseason fall camp is over as well. Where else we going here in terms of what you're looking for today? I think wide receivers. As a collective group, there's 5, 6 guys that I think we got 7 we talked about on the show last Friday that I think you feel like if any of those 7 are in the game, you feel, I say, okay with, like, okay, we'll see what they can do. But who are 1, 2, and 3? Who goes out there for the first snap at Oregon? I still think there's a little intrigue there in how this depth chart plays out.
Yeah, I mean, again, it depends. The words "who's starting at wide receiver," we get asked that question all the time. Well, it depends on what play they call. Yeah. The first play. So, and it can be very different for number 2. Everybody knows that. So, I really do think that there is a core of 7, and it goes 7 deep. Throw in 8 with Matt Wagner. You have 8 pass catching targets for Maddox Madsen, and they're all good and they're all dependable. And I'm not sure 1 versus 8 or 8 versus 1 is going to be any different on any given Saturday. Now, to answer your question, who are the first 3 players that are going to line up? Let's take the play, nonsense.
Who are the first 3? Who are the top 3 who you would call that you're starting wide receiver?
Cam Bates, Nitro, and I'll go Ben Ford because it looks like all indications are that guy's going to be healthy. And if he's going to be healthy, and if he's going to be out there, and at this point, I think he's going to be out there for the Oregon game, I'm going Nitro, I'm going Ford, and I'm going Cam Bates are my top 3 guys.
And have you seen enough at this point that maybe we're all suckered in, but you're buying the hype on Nitro, right?
It's been consistent. And coach,
maybe to be a key contributor, not an all Pac-12 guy.
Yeah,
right?
and I don't think anybody's, and obviously Rashawn Jones is going to mix in there well, but anybody that thinks that Rashawn Jones is going to come out against Oregon and become an instant All-American or instant fan favorite, guys, it's not going to happen. There's going to be games where Rashawn Jones completely disappears based on play schemes and based on the fact that he's a true freshman. And there's going to be weeks that he's the star conference player of the year, or the week with 17 catches and 250 yards and 2 touchdowns. That's the kind of up and down. So those are going to be your core 4. I think it really is a nice, dependable group. I think it could be a mixing match group. I think they bring different kind of skill sets. You got slot guys, you got big guys like Cash Williams, and we heard Cash Williams' name a lot in the spring and early on in fall camp. I don't think I've heard his name for a couple of weeks though, guys, maybe 2 or 3 weeks. So maybe he didn't get quite the bump that he wanted to out of fall camp. But I think that there are 7 or 8 dependable pass catchers on this football team. That is not going to be an excuse for Maddox Madsen this season.
All right, anything else offensively? We found out QB2 is obviously going to be Max Cutforth, which should be a surprise to nobody. He started as a pretty strong 2BQ and finished as a pretty strong QB2. Tight end depth behind Matt Wagner. We've seen Brown, the true freshman, get a lot of reps out there. Anything else? Yeah. Anything else on offense before we switch over to defense?
Grizzle's going to be your best blocking tight end when they need to bring somebody in. He might be the best blocker on this entire team. He'll be fullback guy and jumbo packages and that kind of stuff. We'll see how that plays out. But yeah, I can't imagine there's going to be a lot of other tight ends beyond Matt Wagner who are going to get some targets. I did predict on earlier this year that Matt Wagner would lead this team in targets. And we'll see how it plays out. At the end of the season, I don't think there's going to be any kind of superstar wide receiver stats. I think it's going to be spread across the board, and everybody's going to get their chance to be a star.
All right, so the offense pretty much set, but still some questions on the defensive side of the ball as well. We'll talk about those in just a minute, but do want to remind you the Jackson's trading cards are available. We're, 200 feet from Jackson's, and you can buy those trading cards right now. They are available, the 2026 trading cards, 1 in 10 autographed cards as well. So get on out to Jackson's or Extra Mile and get those at Boise State trade cards. They'll be sponsoring the post-game show, the Riley and Ridge show. We appreciate Jackson's for all their support. Check them out at Jackson's. Hey, new company, Piston Pay. Want to tell you about if you're a company that pays for a gas for your employees, check out Piston Pay, 650-739-8327. It is cardless. There's an app on your phone. There's a QR code. You can track the gallons of gas. No longer do you just see Mike Prater's charge of Jackson's of $55 and wonder what kind of damage he did in there. Now you know it was 12 gallons of gas at this price, and you get your totals. Very easy to use. Great company, and it is available with Jackson's. So if you, again, own a company and pay for the gas for your employees, you want to make it, save some money and also make it easier to track. Check out our friends at Piston. Hey, Taco Bell, TacoBellWorks.com. We appreciate them as well. The breakfast quesadillas, the breakfast hash browns. Don't think there's quite enough time, Mike, to sneak over between practice to get some Taco Bell breakfast today. But we appreciate the SON Management Group, the Nicolason family. And if you're looking for any kind of meal, breakfast, lunch, dinner, Treasure Valley Taco Bell, folks, visit it today. The 40th anniversary of the Blue, Mike. We got all that stuff going. They got the new gear that the Blue and Orange store just announced, the T-shirts. Our man Jordan Beasley, I don't know if you saw him or not, one of the models apparently now there in the shirts. So if you're looking for 40th anniversary gear, they got some cool T-shirts you can get. They have the jacket obviously still available, the blueandorangestore.com. Anywhere in the world, you can order online at the blueandorangestore.com or go to their 2 locations at the Allen Noble Hall of Fame and the Boise Town Square Mall is there as well. So we appreciate our friends at the Blue and Orange Store. Again, check them out at the blueandorangestore.com. Ridley's Family Markets, shopridleys.com, 13 locations in the state of Idaho. Check one out near you at shopridleys.com. All right, Mike, let's go over to the defensive side of the ball. Defensive line, no surprise. We find out the starters there, but you're going to have a starter in a Division II transfer coming in Edwards. Obviously, Latu is there as well. Looks like the ship has sailed on any dream of Braxton Feely coming back. How do you feel about the line, whether interior, we can go edge, maybe interior first, trying to build some depth there, but then obviously Jaden Virgin Morgan, Max Steege, and then trying to get some quality depth behind them.
Yeah, I can't wait to see Mikhail Edwards. And we've seen him all in practice so far, guys. And everybody, by the way, everybody keeps saying Edwards, including Spencer Danielson. There is no S on the end. It's just Edward. So that's kind of weird, but explosive. dynamic. Everybody loves what this guy can do, and he has won a starting job, so that's going to be kind of cool to see. I think the story of the defensive line across the board of all four positions so far of camp has been Max Steege. I think at one point he was kind of thrown out as a guy who, like, he had a half a sack last year. Why are we wasting our time with this kid? This international experiment has turned into a little bit of a bust. I think Max Steege, guys, has had one of the best individual camps of anybody, and I only base that on performance and what coaches are saying. They absolutely love him, and he is locked in on that position, and it's such a huge position. Now he just needs to go out and perform. And the best part is you got a little bit of depth behind him, and the depth can move over to the other side for the 5% of the time that Jaden Virgin Morgan comes off the field. So the edge positions, the outside positions, I think they're absolutely spectacular. They've done a decent job with the interior. Sanusi and Madre, they need to get their act together a little bit because everybody else is kind of making things happen. So the interior, they got some parts to play with, but still unproven. So I think the defensive line is going to be okay.
And Max Steege, for me, is a guy, I'm glad you brought him up, because if there's one of those, if you were doing a list of like kind of buy low guys, like half a sack last year while starting every game, a lot of people are kind of down on him. He finds out that he gets another year in 2027 now too with this 5-5 rule. But Max Steege, and I know you guys have talked to him. I talked to him. He came on our live show at Media Day, back in mid-July, and he just seems like a guy that's motivated and said he wants to prove to people the type of player he is. And it would not shock me one bit if Max, again, I'm not saying he will. He's got a lot to prove, to step up and play better than he did last year. But based on what he's saying, based on how he's looked, this could be a big year for Max Steege.
I think Max Steege and Jaden Virgin Morgan can get 12 to 15 sacks this year between them. I really, truly do. And that's not asking a lot. I fully expect Jaden Virgin Morgan to get 8 to 10. That's the expectations for a guy with the kind of pedigree that he has by himself, and maybe even these two, if they can really start to produce, maybe even 15 plus sacks between the two of them. So if Max Steege can get back up into the half dozen start in the half dozen area, and Jaden Virgin Morgan can push 10 sacks, all of a sudden you got 14, 15, 16 between those two, and that's great production. And I don't think that's too much to ask for.
All right, he's Mike Prater. Again, my name's BJ Rains. This is Bronco Nation News Live, 9 a.m. We do this each and every weekday. Tomorrow and Friday will be at 10 a.m. Mountain Time, though, as we'll be live from Circa Resort and Casino down in Las Vegas. Again, 60% off. You want to join us at BroncoNationNews.com. Get all of our fall camp coverage, our recruiting analysis. Mike, I have tasked the staff this week. We are putting out a couple sentences, thoughts, on literally all 100 and whatever players on the roster. We're going position by position, but all this week, offensive position, defensive position, our thoughts after watching fall camp, where these guys sit, what we think of them, every single player on the roster. You can read that at BroncoNationNews.com. If you're a paid subscriber, 60% off. Jump in right now, $4.67 a month. We'd love to have you. That deal is going to go away soon, so jump in now, part of the 24/7 sports family. All your Boise State coverage at BroncoNationNews.com. Let's go line.
Does that include the backup long snapper?
If he's on the roster.
He's on the roster. But is Boise State the only team in America that has a backup long snapper?
They might be. That's a very good that's one of the more intriguing things. We're going to see a new long snapper. Is there any concern there going into the?
It's just a mystery. Probably not concern, but mystery. And they literally do have a backup long snapper. So I even forget his name. But
the Weber State kid that came in as the starter,
Caden Mello.
And he has a connection with Doyle, right, from their time at Weber State together. So we'll see there. But I haven't seen any bad snaps or heard any. I do think that's a important position that goes untalked about, but I haven't seen anything to think that's not going to be fine.
No, I agree with that.
All right, linebackers, how we feeling there? Because Bowen Phelps obviously is, let's just say this, knock on wood, he needs to stay healthy this year, no doubt about it. But how you feeling about the rest of the linebacking group? There were some injuries we found out from Spencer Danielson. Both Jake Ripp and Logan Brantley have been limited at times this camp, which has changed things a little bit. Sounds like they're both going to be back. But who lines up next to Bowen Phelps? By the way, 10 days. We're now 10 days away from the season opener against Oregon.
Bowen Phelps has really captured my attention in camp and done a really nice job. And that guy not only physically and mentally has changed his body and his mind and the way he plays football. He's been very consistent and very steady. I think Bowen Phelps might be I think there's a chance that he could be your best defensive player this year. Obviously, Jaden Virgin Morgan's on that list right now, but we'll see how it plays out. Bowen Phelps maybe was a position of concern for me, but I have zero concerns about Bowen Phelps. After that, as you just pointed out, I have many, many concerns. The depth on this football team is scary. Rip is never really kind of connected. We'll see how that plays out. Brantley is hurt. Tuioti and Lambe have always just been kind of out there. Those are names that get dropped every now and then. So there's those guys that haven't really got any traction. Lambe's probably more of a special teamer. So they have 5 guys for 2 positions, and they can mix and match a little bit here and there. If Brantley can get healthy, if Brooks can get a little bit healthy, maybe those guys can go out and provide some depth. But I worry about it. I think it's 1.5 linebackers right now with Phelps and Rip as the half and a little bit of depth that's unproven. And we don't even know if those guys will be ready for the Oregon game right now.
Yeah, no, we don't. And that's another thing that we'll go inside and I guess try to see if guys are out there practicing, who's out there and who's on the scout team. A lot of stuff that there to decide. Now the secondary, we kind of thought we felt like we knew who the 4-5 were going to be in the secondary, and then Eric Chenander comes in. Oh no, we got extra guys. And again, some of it's coach speak. We'll see, but it sounds like there's been some other guys, Jericho Washington, Cam Jamerson, some other guys throwing their names into the mix here. I want to get Mike's take on the secondary in just a second, but I do want to thank Idaho Central Credit Union, ICCU.com. There's a branch pretty much on every corner, but the easiest is that mobile e-branch online banking right there in your smartphone. Idaho Central Credit Union. They now have great benefits such as cell phone protections with some of the new checking accounts, savings accounts. Mike Prater's an happy ICCU member. We're with ICCU. Make the switch today. You'll be glad you did. Idaho Central Credit Union. Hey, Signature Roofing, you need a new roof, you need a repair to your roof, an inspection, an estimate. Signature Roofing has you covered. Online, mysignatureroofing.com. Signature Roofing, mysignatureroofing.com. Element Fencing, they'll be sponsoring our defensive player of the game. Element Fencing, 25 plus years in the fencing business, whether it's deck, cedar, wrought iron, vinyl. They can do pergolas. You see the craftsmanship on the screen there. 631-2790. Check them out online at elementfencing.com. Rowpaint.com. Andy Rowe and Company. Appreciate him as well. All your painting needs, interior, exterior painting. Check out our friends Andy Rowe at rowpaint.com. And Matt Bauscher, Bauscher Real Estate, #1 ranked realtor in the Northwest. Probably Mike soon to be the whole United States at this point. Matt Bauscher, appreciate him. He backs it up. He's a true Bronco and backs it up in a lot of ways and helps support our show. We appreciate it. 252-9877. We bought and sold our home with Matt and his team a while back, and we're very happy that we did. And don't forget about that 72-hour sale going on right now at Lithia Ford of Boise. I believe technically it starts tomorrow, Mike, but if you tell them you heard about it on the show, they'll probably go ahead and give you the discount today. But the best prices of the year from our friends at Lithia Ford of Boise. Get on out there and tell them you heard about it on BNN, and they're taking care of Jeremiah Dickey. They're taking care of a lot of coaches, players. You see Matt Wagner on the screen there, so we appreciate Mike. I get a little nervous. These cars are coming around the corner here, and that one looked like it would maybe had something against us. Started to hit the gas a little bit. Just for a split second, my life flashed before my eyes there. But the secondary, another key area that I said I think we feel pretty good about. I mean, there's a lot of comments in the chat saying they feel great about the secondary. Still, with some of the guys you lost last year, especially at safety, you're just wondering, where does this group going to be compared to last year's safeties and corners and nickel? I'm high on I'm high on Tillman. I'm high on a lot of these guys, but I like Derek Cantor Jr. a lot. I think Derek Cantor Jr. is primed for just a monster season. And Jaden Mickey is the guy I meant to bring up. I'm very high. I think he has a chance to be a big-time contributor, and I want to talk about the captains they picked in a minute. But where are you with the safeties, the nickels, the corners, how that's going to shape out? Is it going to be the 5 we thought, and how you feeling overall about that group?
I love the depth. I absolutely love the depth here, guys. And I think that I was doing the math the other day. There's 3 cornerbacks for 2 positions. There's 5 safeties for 3 positions based on the rotations and the amount of players that have been playing in fall camp. And a lot of those guys can be mix and match kind of guys. So we'll see how it all plays out. I do like the starters, although there's a lot of unknowns. I mean, Travis Anderson's getting buzzed, but I want to see him go out and play. And he really hasn't got that connection for me yet. So we'll see how he plays out. There's Smith didn't play in the spring, and he's a cornerback that's expected to start, but he's also got the Rico Washington kid behind him. So maybe there's some stuff going on there. Everybody talks about Roman Tillman, and there's a couple of guys behind him, even at the nickel position. So there is some very good intrigue. I have a lot of questions. I want to see how they perform. I don't feel great about the secondary. I feel like they've done a lot of work, and I think that they've done a really nice job of patching up the holes that they needed to. But let's go out and see how they perform this year.
All right, last night, Boise State sends out the graphic. The captains, Mike Prater, my understanding is 9 guys filled out the paperwork and applied. They go with 3. Maddox Madsen, not a surprise. Jaden Virgin Morgan, a captain last year, not a surprise. And Roger Carrion, first-time captain, but also not a surprise, just given his expertise, his experience, being a veteran guy. So not surprised with any of the 3. A little surprised it stopped at 3, and knowing especially that I'd heard a couple days ago on Saturday that 9 guys had applied, and we'll have to talk to Spencer and say, hey, was the vote just so high on these 3 that it was obvious they needed to be it, or where was the drop off? I assume that's what happened. There was just such a difference from the top 3 versus the next ones, but 9 guys apply was my understanding. They go with 3, 2 offensive guys, 1 defensive guy. Now, in the past, they've had the single game captains they've added in. I don't know if that's something they'll consider for a 4th or 5th captain, but overall, the 3 captains. What do you think?
Well, yeah, the 3 that they picked are the no-brainers. That's an absolute no-brainer, and I would have been shocked if those 3 weren't on the list. I did tweet out last night that I found it to be very interesting because some of the stuff you just touched on. I thought that there would be at least 5. I really did. When Spencer Danielson opened up this process to a thick packet of application, I mean, when he talked about it, he held up his fingers like this, an inch or two. It's a thick packet. He said, this will be the hardest thing you guys will ever have to do, is to be a leader. And so I really thought that since he opened it up to that, and he constantly talks about the great leadership on this football team, I thought that there would be more opportunities, and I thought that they would come with 5 captains. I thought Jaden Mickey would be a captain. This guy's proven to be a leader. He seems like he's a leader. He's talked about as a leader. He's got an extensive background. He's a returner guy with the Notre Dame experience. I really was blown away, and maybe he didn't even apply because maybe he just didn't feel like he wanted to focus on football. I don't know. There's some circumstances here that we'll seem to figure out, but I thought Jaden Mickey would be on there. I thought based on this leadership-heavy team that there might be one more. I always cringe when there's not one on special teams. Joe Nadalmas, I miss you, brother. I miss your consistency. I miss your leadership, and we're just not getting that with this Boise State football team when it comes to special teams right now. So it's always nice to have a special teams representation. That didn't happen, but there's no leaders there, and I really thought that Jaden Mickey would be it. So I thought there would be 5, and you know, I'm not questioning that Spencer Danielson keeps talking about the great leadership of this team. I'm just more curious about the process that ended up with only 3.
All right, we're about to go into practice here in about 3 minutes, Mike. Well, again, not much something we can say, but for your own eyes, your own information, where are you spending your time? What's the biggest stuff you want to see today at practice?
Yeah, I'll look at the rotation on the offensive line and confirm, number 1s versus number 2s. I'll probably look at the interior of the defensive line. And I'll look at the linebacker position and see what they're doing there. So we'll report back as much as possible, whether it's on these shows or Idaho Sports Talk later in the day. But it's those are the 3 positions of concern for me right now.
And are you expecting what we see today to be it, or do you think there is still some actual kind of competition going on?
I think the competition's done. I mean, the coach will tell you that a competition never ends, and anything could happen in one spot here, one spot there, maybe. I think the competition's done. I think the depth chart is set. Everybody's orange. Everybody's blue. Everybody knows the status of themselves on this football team, and they got 10 days to go to work and try to beat Oregon.
And how do you feel? I mean, final thing. I mean, there's just fall camps in the books. Now they're back in school. We're 10 days from the season opener. How do you feel about the Boise State football team in 2026?
From January 1st until right now, what is it, August 26th, whatever that is, I think they've done a hell of a job. I think Spencer Danielson has won the offseason. I think he's done a really nice job of navigating the crazy offseason of college football, navigating the portal, navigating roster retention, building up the resources. I don't know what his budget is anymore, but I'm assuming it's $6 to $8 million range right now for this football team. And it keeps on growing. That's not $40 million like they throw out with the Oregon Ducks, and that's why it's a 24-point spread. But I think Boise State's done a phenomenal job of winning the offseason. They're fairly healthy. Although the injuries in the last 10 days of camp kind of piled up more so than any other time. They were not healthy in the spring at the end, and they got healthy in time for fall. So by the time Oregon rolls around, I think this football team is going to be very healthy. They check a lot of boxes. This is going to be a really good football team. It's not good enough to beat Oregon, but we'll deal with that in 10 days.
Well, appreciate everybody for watching the show. Go subscribe, BroncoNationNews.com. Again, 60% off right now. You can get all the recruiting, all the national coverage at BroncoNationNews.com as part of the 24/7 sports family. Take advantage of that 60% offer while we still have it. And you get the Paramount Plus subscription included once it resets at full price. If you would like to get the Paramount Plus now, you can just pay full price, and then you get 2 for 1 basically. So that is an option for you as well. But sorry for a little shorter show today. We want to get into practice. We can actually be informed when we give you guys information, whether it be on Idaho Sports Talk today. Prater, 3 o'clock. I know you guys will be all over practice today.
Yeah, and you 3:40 or 4:40 or 4:15 on Friday from Vegas. Really? Seriously?
Yes.
Can you kind of give us some betting tips? Or
to be completely honest, we may be taping that a little earlier in the day on Friday because that Friday afternoon I may be enjoying a Friday afternoon in Vegas. But
as you should.
We are going to tape that, and we're going to go Vegas style over unders, win totals, Pac-12 odds, Player of the Year. and we may even throw in some cool Boise State numbers. I talked to Greg about this. We're going to find like a catch numbers, rushing yard numbers. We'll make our own over-under player totals, prop bets for Boise State players, and then give if we think it's going to be over-under. So we'll have a little fun projecting the season Vegas style coming up on Idaho Sports
Perfect.
Talk.
Love it. Absolutely love it, guys. That'll be 4:15 on Friday.
But they'll have full coverage the next couple of days from camp. And again, we'll get inside right now and let you know what we see. And then we'll be live tomorrow, 10 a.m. Mountain Time, assuming Rid and Bedell can wake up in time. 10 a.m. Mountain Time. We will have the show tomorrow from Circa Resort and Casino in Las Vegas. Tomorrow will actually be Rid and Nathan. Friday will be Rid, Bedell, and Nathan. We got a whole crew going down there. Looking forward to that. If you want to sign up, we can still sign you up. Reach out to me. The Circa Million, Circa Survivor Contest. We'll be down there and sign you up. Our friends from Atkins, Insmere, and Glass are going down there. We got a lot of folks going down, so going to be a lot of fun. Looking forward to it. And Mike, appreciate you. We'll go check out practice. Go subscribe. Go have a Sun Cruiser or two. We'll be doing that in Las Vegas, whether it's the iced tea vodkas, lemonade vodkas, Sun Cruiser Studios. Appreciate them. Appreciate Lithia Ford of Boise as well. We're going to leave you with Matt Wagner telling you more about their 72-hour sale. Have a great day. We'll talk to you from Las Vegas, and we'll go let you know what we see at practice. Bronco Nation News, BroncoNationNews.com.
Hey Bronco Nation, this is Matt Wagner of Boise State Football. In football, opportunities can open up, but only for a moment, and the best players know when to step up and step in. At Lithia Ford of Boise, our 72-hour sales event is going on now. Works the same way. This Thursday through Sunday only. Take advantage of limited time pricing, strong trade-in values, and competitive selection of new and pre-owned vehicles that are ready to meet real-world needs. Bronco Nation, this is your opportunity to step up and step into Lithia Ford of Boise and make the most of it this Thursday through Sunday night. Don't wait. Come see us at Lithia Ford of Boise, where Ford begins in Idaho.